Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to take your little book that you've already folded according to the video that we had put up on Canvas and glue it together so that it's a little bit more organized and the pages actually flip like a book and they don't open all kinds of crazy ways. So this is the finished example. Basically, just take a glue stick or Elmer's glue, whatever you have as far as glue goes, and where you see them open up, you're going to end up gluing them together so that you end up having one page. Okay, so this first page is all by itself, so you can skip that one. You go on to the next page, and you can see where there's an opening in the back that has to be glued together. So this opening right here, you're going to open that up. And we're going to squeeze a little glue in there and close that. Spread the glue out. Okay, so now that becomes a solid page. Another good thing about doing this, aside from the convenience, is that it gives you a little more thickness so that you can work front and back since you're working with ink. And that way it's not going to bleed through as much. Okay, so here's our next area that's open in a weird kind of way. I'm going to open that up and glue that. Together. Okay, and then flip it and continue that process. It's kind of like we did that accordion fold, so it's like every other one opens. And then we want to just glue them together. Okay, so there's another page. And then this next section opens at the top. So we're going to flip it open like that. Put our glue on there. Flip it closed. And then, let's see, this one opens up here. We'll glue those together. Just close it in on itself. Back up. Puts it down. This one also opens to the back. That was a little boo-boo. You shouldn't have a cut there. Unless you made an accident, in which case just tape it back together. Okay, and then again, just close that. Press it down so it stays glued. Open that up to the next page, and then we've got this one here. These two get glued together. Just pay attention when you're doing this. Go slow because you don't want to glue the wrong pages. Right. And then that's it, and that's the last little page that's not going to get glued to anything in this book. But now that I have two books, and we can open it up, test it out, make sure that it works. While the glue is still wet, at least you might be able to take your pages apart, but otherwise you'd have to start over. Okay, so that works out pretty good. Everything flips the way it's supposed to flip. This last little page here, and then the first page on this other book are needing to get stuck together like that. So we're going to put glue on those. And this is going to give us a book that's big enough for the whole entirety of Inktober. Just line those up at the spine as best as you can. It'll be a little wiggly. I just kind of tap my books down toward the spine because you want those to line up more so than anything else, really. And just give it a squeeze. It's a good idea if you just open it up and make sure that there's not a lot of like glue that's squished out or anything. So everything looks like it's connected. And you can always take like a heavy object and just set it on top for a little while so that kind of squishes it down and makes sure that everything is glued well together. All right, so that's your little Inktober book. And make sure everything opens. And then we're going to move on to designing the front and back cover next. Happy inking.